First to 10, our continuing coverage of trying to stop the deadly fentanyl epidemic in Colorado and toughen existing law, among other things. State lawmakers say there has been a 1,000% increase in fentanyl-related deaths since 2015. Fentanyl can be legally prescribed as a painkiller, but we have seen more illegally manufactured fentanyl-laced opioids and distributed in large quantities. Lawmakers have introduced a bipartisan bill this session that, in part, makes it a level 4 felony to possess any drug or compound that contains fentanyl and weighs more than 4 grams.
There would be a range of felony charges based on the weight of the drug, if they manufacture, sell, or distribute a fentanyl compound, and for anyone who imports the drug to Colorado. The measure also includes preventative programs to help those who overdose, mental health assistance, and education programs. But there is major pushback against the proposed legislation from prominent political leaders. Some say the bill does not go far enough, including Colorado Springs Mayor John Suthers.
New at 10, News 5's Natalie Chuck in studio tonight with us. And Natalie, you spoke with the mayor today. What exactly are his concerns here?
Well, Rob, he says some of the punishments aren't severe enough for offenders. While the bill lowers the amount in possession to qualify as a felony, the mayor believes there shouldn't be any tolerance for someone possessing fentanyl. But there are still groups who say putting people in prison won't fix the fentanyl problem. One thing Colorado's district attorneys, law enforcement, mayors, and even criminal justice reform agencies seem to agree on is that overdose deaths because of fentanyl need to stop.
It's sad.
I think everyone can agree that too many people are dying of overdoses.
But how we get there is a different story.
This drug is so deadly that possession of any amount should be a felony.
In a statement, Colorado Springs Mayor John Suthers voiced his concerns with the current House bill being introduced, saying the Colorado legislature needs to start listening more to law enforcement and others responsible for public safety, and less to organizations whose objective it is to minimize the consequences for criminal behavior. The Colorado Criminal Justice Reform Coalition says they haven't formally taken a stance on the bill. They did release a joint brief saying public health strategies will save lives from overdose, not making fentanyl possession a felony.
We want to be able to say, well, if we do this, it'll fix that. And drug use is so personal and individualized that there is no one size fits all. So prevention would be helping to educate people who are novice or are not used to using drugs.
Obviously, education is important, but you have to have serious consequences for these people that are distributing this drug.
The El Paso County Coroner's Office estimates the total number of fentanyl deaths will be around 100 for 2021.
They don't even know that the drug they're ingesting is laced with fentanyl. That certainly seems to be the case in Commerce City. That was the case with a couple of young women here at Mitchell High School.
Representative Mike Lynch, who is sponsoring the bill, says any action is better than no action. And while I'll be in support of any legislation that tightens the penalties on fentanyl possession, I realize that there is still a lot more work that needs to be done. The Criminal Justice Reform Coalition did say there are some things they like about this bill, like requiring jails to provide medication-assisted treatment to people who are incarcerated. Lawmakers will hear the bill in committee for the first time in a few weeks.